Welcome back to another episode of the GODSUccess Teach and Pray. Today's topic is for all the faithful women. Our Bible verses are Luke 10:38 through 41 and John 11:19 through 25. Christ comforts Martha and Mary, the sisters of Lazarus. Then rises Lazarus from the dead. Christ can resurrect those dead dreams and aspirations you had. When I thought my shoe business was dead, he rose Dakar Marketing Tools. He raised me from homelessness to live in a home today. He can do the same for you. This is yours truly, MC and engineer, His Excellency Dakar, Director of GODSU Chaplaincy Program, and CEO of Dakar Marketing Tools, an international graphic and printing company providing you with all your marketing needs to help you and your company grow. Our popular products are GODSU African American Bibles, magazines, banners, flyers, branded golf shirts, and jackets. Our world-renowned services include marketing, consulting, coaching, keynoting, public relations, and conference planning. At this time, I want to say happy birthday to GODSU alum, Imam Muhammad Abdul Malik Chaplain. And without any further ado, our leader of the week, Reverend Dr. Leo Pickett, Chaplain, please take us away.
O Lord our God, our homes are thine forever. We trust to thee, their problems, toil, and care, their bonds of love no enemy can sever. If thou art always Lord and Master there, be thou the center of our least endeavor. Be thou our guest, our hearts and homes to share. Today we're going to talk about Martha and Mary, two sisters. Let me share with you first. We sing of busy Martha who toiled with pot and pan, while Mary sat in silence to hear the word again. Christ, keep our hearts attentive to truth that you declare, and strengthen us for service when work becomes our prayer. Martha was a woman of excellence, even though many people continued to give her a hard time. When Jesus visited their home, the two sisters, Mary and Martha, greeted him and served him. Mary was the one who took time to sit at his feet and bask in his presence. Martha was the one who was in the kitchen preparing for him, trying to serve him well and make everything perfect. Although Mary's position at Jesus' feet was very important, so was Martha's position in the kitchen, as she hurried around to prepare things. She asked the master why Mary wasn't helping her. She felt as if she were doing everything on her own. She was tired and frustrated because she was wiping herself out for Jesus. Martha sets an amazing example for all of us who seek to serve the Lord. Of course, we must not allow our service, labor, and responsibilities to distract us from our intimate relationship with Christ. We must keep our priorities in order. But what is more beautiful than a woman who diligently serves and waits on the Master? She doesn't serve him leftovers. She gives him only the best. Martha's desire was to make sure that Jesus was well taken care of. Her service was excellent. I think we can safely say that the only reason that Mary could relax and enjoy the presence of Jesus was because Martha was diligent. If Martha had done her work sloppily, Mary would have had to get up, get busy, and help her. Mary could sit at the feet of Jesus because Martha had swept the floor on which she sat. Although Martha's actions kept her away from positioning herself in front of Jesus, her heart was one of service and diligence. Now, some scholars say that Mary, who sits at Jesus' feet and listens to what he says, they refer to her as the listener, has chosen what is better. How beautiful. Jesus affirms Mary, the listener, in a disciple's role, a role reserved by the rabbis for men alone. And with equality, he affirms an important priority. Any work we do for God must flow from a significant personal relationship with our Lord. I'm Dr. Leo Pickett, Chaplain and Assistant Dean of Music for Global Oved Seminary and University, and founder of LP Community Foundation, serving seniors through music therapy and health and nutrition. Co-host, take it away.
Mary and Martha, grieving sisters. It is sometimes difficult to believe that death could happen to a sister, a brother, or someone significant to us. Death, we think, always happens to someone else and at some other time. But all too often, death does happen to us and our loved ones at the most unexpected times. The powerful lesson in the story of Mary and Martha is that they became overcomers because they were willing to cast their burdens upon Jesus. When you are faced with the difficulty of loss through death or through other means, cast your cares on Jesus. He cares enough to carry your burdens and carry you through your difficult times. Allow him to receive glory from your situation, just as he did from Mary and Martha. When you have been burdened with the loss of a loved one, as they did with their brother Lazarus, or when you have been through a challenging situation, to whom have you turned for comfort? Remember to cast your cares on Jesus because he cares. I'm Dr. Cecilia Smith, appointed by God to be the CEO of Strong Sisters of Strength Ministries Incorporated. I'm also chaplain and assistant dean at Global Oved Seminary and University. Thank you.
Mary and Martha. My ministry is called Sister to Sister, and I think about these two sisters often and have read their story many times. In the passage where they are preparing for Jesus to come, I see them both, and of course we've read the story where one is preparing for Jesus and excited about him coming, and the other sister is busy trying to get everything ready. I've been both of those women, and you know what truth is? We're probably a little bit of Mary and a little bit of Martha. And it's likely we have these qualities, and that's good. Both of the qualities are good. What I do see in this particular passage is that sometimes we can get very busy, distracted. I know I have, preparing for whatever it is that I was getting ready to do. And sometimes you get so focused on preparing that what the whole point was we forget to sit at the feet of Jesus. And I think that's a really big point here, that we need to slow down and sit at the feet of Jesus. And so not miss the moment of being in God's presence because we're so busy preparing. As I prepare for women conferences and Bible studies, there is a lot of logistics that take place in doing all of that. But I never want to be so busy with the outer aesthetics of the conference that I don't take the time to sit and really pour my heart to God and to ask Him what is it that He wants to do through the conference. And that's certainly what I see. I am just a busy person by nature. That's me, so I can relate to Mary. But I certainly desire to have those good parts of Mary. So I have to talk to myself and say, Vicki, stop. Sit down, slow down, and just talk to God today. So we love both of these women, and we are excited that we can glean different things from them both. I am Reverend Dr. Vicki Stokes, Assistant Dean and Chaplain here at Global Oved Seminary and University. And I'm also the founder of the Sister Gathering, a discipleship and coaching mentoring program for women. Thank you.
Yesterday, I drove by Resurrection Cemetery in Moore. Our text today speaks about the resurrection of dead things. This is not a coincidence. Jesus can resurrect dead things in our lives. I've seen Him do it in my own life and in the life of my family. He also did it for Lazarus, which our text talks about today, and He can do it for you. Cannot and will not fail you. Last year, the doctor decreed stage 4 lung cancer for my mother, a woman who never smoked a day in her life. This year, she's here with us, and God is healing her day by day. We look forward to hearing those final words. You are cancer-free. However, we already know that she's cancer-free, and it will manifest. Mary and Martha believed in Jesus, and Lazarus was raised from the dead. As was mentioned earlier, dead things can be resurrected in your life. What things do you need God to resurrect for you? Is it a dead marriage, finances, health, or family relationship? All you have to do is pray, have faith, do your part, and let God do His. Only believe. All things are possible if you only believe. I am Minister Alicia Moses Armstrong, Chaplain and CEO of Global Oved Seminary and University, founder and of Agape Love Churches and Gifts. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful testimonies and the stories of Martha and Mary. And I think that, as a male, I see it as more like balance of life, that we must hold life precious and hold it in harmony. And speaking of such, as you guys know, I'm so happy that Dr. Leo Pickett picked this topic of honoring faithful women this week. And what I wanted to do this, since this month is a holy month, not only are we as Christians celebrating Easter, but Passover started yesterday. And also it is Ramadan, which is a religious holiday for the Islam. So with that being said, I wanted to acknowledge Mother Earth. We usually refer to Mother Earth as female. And so there was a great passage that was sent to me, and I wanted to share that. For did we think that Mother Nature would not respond or defend herself? A season has passed and another cycle has begun. The law of cause and effect is precise. It is fair. We are reaping in proportion what we've sown. If the faith seems cruel, it is our perspective that is wrong. For Mother Nature cannot be judged as we are. Mother Nature seeks balance in all things, and when she moves to restore it, we must receive the lessons and the understanding and the acceptance. Destructive behavior that is stubborn and under yielding always requires more severe forms of punishment to bring about the necessary forms. To be compliant with nature, we must each look deeply in our hearts and conform the seed of self-indulgence in humanity that has allowed us to ignore the seeds of our fellow man and the planet. And as we were talking about earlier this week, I was saying that we should set our clocks for 7:14 2 Chronicles 7:14, 7:14 in the morning, 7:14 in the evening. And that refers to 2 Chronicles 7:14, where we must turn from our wicked ways so that God will hear us from heaven. And that is so important. So let us all keep each other encouraged and in prayer, and let us continue to focus on the Maker who has made earth, has made all of us in his image, and let us return back to the Lord. I am Dr. Willis Eubanks, and I'm the proud Vice Chancellor of Global Oved Seminary and University, and I'm also CEO of Global Alliance Technical Services, where we help get your house in order financially, both your business and your personal finances, to leave legacies to come. We also teach IT certification. Thank you.
It's wonderful to be able to praise God and adore him the first thing in the morning. And I'm so grateful that God has brought us here, not only to GODSU, but brought us to the GODSUccess Teach and Pray. And so many times when things are happening around us, our human instinct is to be anxious, is to be scared, is to be afraid. Just like these sisters were. But you notice what they did. The first thing they did was they went to Christ. When things are going on in your life, when it seems like something is dead, is that the first place that you go? I would suggest that's what you do, because they did that, and that's the first thing that they did. Christ was able to raise Lazarus from the dead. And as Minister Alicia Armstrong stated, and His Excellency Dakar, what in your life is dead? What in your life needs Christ to resurrect it, to bring back life in it? Especially in times like these, we need resurrection in our faith. As we call all of our alum and we check on people to see exactly how they are, etc. One of our most active deans called on a couple of our female, it's so funny because it was female, our female students to check on them. And they were paralyzed with fear. They argued with him, why are you calling me at a time like this? You know, don't you see what's going on? You're not helping me. I need help. You're calling me, but that's not enough. And it struck me, and it got to the point where, because those three women did that, although there were so many other people who were grateful, he was like, I don't want to call anybody anymore. People don't realize that when they have that negative attitude, when they're like, everything is dead, we're scared, everything is dead, that it can actually cause some folks to start saying, well, I don't want to talk to anybody like that. I don't want to. And you know, my whole thing is that I would be grateful if anyone would want to call and check on me. I would be grateful. But if all you see is death, if all you see is fear, if all you see is negativity, you don't want to see anything at all. So even though these two sisters saw the death of their brother, thank God that they didn't think they were dead as well. Thank God that they called on the name of Christ. Thank God that they knew that he had the power of resurrection. So I encourage each and every one of you under the power of my voice that whatever is dead in your life, including yourself and your faith and anything else that needs resurrection, that you call on the name of Christ. You call on his name. You believe that he can resurrect it from the dead, whatever it is, whether it is a poor work environment, whether it's a poor home environment, whether it's a spouse that needs resurrection, whether it's a child that needs their faith resurrected, whether it's your finances, whether it's your education that needs resurrected. A lot of us, as I said, we just quote scripture and verse and have no idea why it's there, what are the circumstances, and we're not searching either. Pastor said it, and that's it. No. Search for yourself, because when you stand before God, he's not going to ask you what pastor said. He's not going to ask you what mama and daddy them said. He is going to ask you to give an account of what you did with what he gave you. Your mind, your spirit, your heart. Are you accountable? Are you using as much of all the, all the gifts that he's given you? Are you building his kingdom here on earth? Are you making sure that everyone knows the word and the works of God, not because you say it all the time, but because you're about it, because you live it? Are you encouraging others? Is there a Christ in you that they can see, as many people will not crack open a Bible? You have to be the Bible to them in everything that you do. So with that said, I want to encourage everyone who is either registered completely or partially for the chaplaincy, or you are an alum, to ensure that today that you join us with the last segment of the Christian chaplaincy. We start with the Love and Spiritual Interfaith Chaplaincy. We changed the name from this Love and Spiritual Chaplaincy to Love and Spiritual Interfaith Chaplaincy, as this is for folks who are dealing with people of all backgrounds. The Christian chaplaincy is mostly taken by those who they only deal with Christians, and so the other perspectives, we just mention it, very briefly. But if you are dealing with just the community or the corporate world, etc., and you have no idea who you're going to be dealing with, this particular chaplaincy that we have that comes up, it starts May the 7th. And the way that it works is that even though we're doing the live broadcast, we're mainly doing those so that those who are just started or those who've been a chaplain for a while can see another perspective, as well as it will be placed on our website with a password only for those people who have actually signed up for it. So if you're an alum and you've been an alum for a long time before we made the chaplaincy a part of our core course that everyone had to do, you hadn't taken, you would not have access to the website, but you have access to listen to it while we're taping, because we're taping for the website. So please take advantage of that. I am Her Excellency, the Reverend Dr. Diane Moore-Eubanks, Chancellor here at Global Oved Seminary University, Provost of Global Bible Institute or Seminary, and also our National President for our New Future Foundation, Inc., the Jamaica chapter, or United Nations non-governmental organization that we represent in Jamaica, as well as we're represented in New York. We are in New York every month, and we also have our New Future Foundation National President, Queen Mother, Dr. Delois Blakely. I am also a multi-state financial advisor with Invita Financial Network, where we assist you with the planning of all your financial services. We're also there to help you with your retirement and show you how you and your family members can be millionaires based on just a couple dollars a day. So have a fantastic day, and please note how wonderful our MC, His Excellency the Cardinal Alexander, he's working in his purpose for Easter, how wonderful does he look? He has been doing 13 to 14 programs for us each week. This week, we have actually tripled our production of work since they have put us on shutdown because more people need help. So we want to definitely give him some thanks and some acknowledgement. God bless you. Have a great day and wash those hands. God bless you. Bye-bye.